Okay, I'm going to show you how to put all of the parts together to make your homemade square handheld rig. In case you missed it, you can click the link to watch the prep, or you can skip ahead to see it in action. So let's do this. Here's a quick look at all the pieces of pipe we're about to cut. Alright, so step one is going to be measuring our pipe before we cut it. Measuring out 2 pieces that are 11 inches long. Make some marks. That's where I'm going to make my cuts. I need 4 pieces that are going to be 4 3/4. And then it just so happens this leftover piece is a perfect size for our little optional handle. Alright, that's it for measuring. So now I'm going to use my sweet PVC cutters. I'm going to just snip this thing into pieces. Got my marks. Alright, step 3 is assembly. Now it's good to put everything together first before you glue to make sure everything fits okay. You could always make adjustments, trim stuff if you need to. So let's start by just putting it together. You're just making a square, as the name implies. So taking your right angles and you're gonna just pop them on the sides. This is gonna be one of the side handles. Now if you have a rubber mallet, this is where it can come in handy. You could just push really hard, you could bang it on the ground, or you could tap it in there and make sure it's nice and snug. You want to make sure it's really lined up too, because these are going to need to be straight after. We'll make the other side, the exact same thing, using the other 2 elbows. See how easily PVC fits together? So these are the 2 sides. Now we're going to put together the top and the bottom using our T-joints. 1, 2, 3, easy as that. Here we go. I'm going to line it up and make sure it's really straight. Kind of just press on it. Okay, looks pretty straight. Now instead of going towards the middle, like the first one was, we're going to want this one to go out. This is where the handle is going to be. Okay, these 2. Bend the pipe a little bit, no big deal. Get it in. Alright, now my leftover piece that is going to be the handle is going to go right in there. But we're not going to glue this one in the next step, so keep that in mind. This one's going to be removable because we might not want it in all the time. So now that you're sure your measurements are all correct and everything's good to go, it's ready for step 4, gluing, which means we're going to tear it apart and glue it. Alright, let's glue. I did put down a protective surface so I don't put glue on my table. Alright, so this is your PVC glue. I use clear because I like it. Bam, put it on. There's really no special trick to this other than put the glue on, put the PVC together. I'm going to go ahead and hammer all of these as I go. You really want to make sure that these are straight this time because once the glue sets, there's no going back. If you don't already have PVC glue, you can pick up a 4-ounce bottle, a little smaller than this, for like $4. Done. Okay, gonna have to push. There we go. So don't forget that this piece goes straight up into the square, but this top one needs to shoot outward for the handle. Don't glue the handle, that's going to be removable, but this is all you need for now. Everything is glued, and you want to let that set for a while before you put your camera on it. Step 5, time to drill. We're going to be drilling 2 different spots here on this. One is going to be where the camera is attached to the rig, and the other is to hold onto the optional handle. It'll be removable later. First step will be to just mark the spot. We're going to be going straight through this because this little nub is going to be where the camera sits. So I want to go straight down the bottom and I'm going to make a little mark. And then with the handle in, now it's not glued, but it is in securely, I'm going to make 2 marks because we're going to drill straight down through it. And you don't want it to be too close to this edge, but you want to make sure it still catches the pipe. So I'm going to put it right here. And here's a quick tip. Instead of starting with the full size one, if you start with a smaller bit, get your hole going, and then switch to the bigger one, it'll be a lot easier to just drill the hole that way. So we want to make sure that that fits through okay. So as long as that goes through, we're good. All right, so this is how the handle works. Since I decided not to glue it, so it's not permanent, we're gonna use our 2-inch bolt and just stick it right through there. And use one of the wing nuts because they're easy to twist and untwist on the fly. Don't really need any tools. There, now it's just on there. Tighten it down. Doesn't have to be too tight. It is plastic after all. But now you've got a nice handle so you can hold the camera from the top if you want to. But if you don't want the handle, if it's going to get in the way, you can just simply take this pin out and take your handle out, and then you're back to just this. So there you have it. There's your homemade square handheld camera rig. That wasn't so hard, was it? So in part 3, we're gonna put it to the test and show you what kind of creative shots you can get with this thing. And right now, I think I'm gonna give it a nice custom matte black paint job because that makes everything look a little sweeter.